Okay guys, so like I said, we're gonna jump into some quick interior mods. For one, I've already got the steering wheel ready to come out, as well as we're gonna swap our cluster back in. So we got our bolt out of the steering wheel. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can, that should pull off here in just a second. Let me see if I can get that to wiggle off. There we go. Okay, so the wheel's off. We're gonna get to swap that out with our new M Sport wheel over here, of course. But one thing I'm doing as well is I'm gonna go ahead and swap out the clock spring because it actually has the automatic headlight option, and I'm thinking about doing a retrofit of the CAFIS or the FLA camera so we have that option, as well as I want to add in heat for a heated steering wheel. So unfortunately this one here is not heated, so I'm doing this retrofit. I have another one on the way, so we'll be actually installing that one probably in a couple of days, as well as doing an Alcantara wrap on that. But in the meantime, we'll get this installed. And so if you guys are looking for a new LCI M Sport steering wheel, that will be there available for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out now. We're gonna go ahead and slap in the new cluster that we just got back from RVG Performance. It has now been virginized, and I'm just gonna give you a quick run through of how this process works when it comes to getting it remote coded for your vehicle. Okay, so I've already got my pick tools in here. We were able to go ahead and get this to rock forward, especially since I've already got the steering wheel out of the way. This makes it really easy, since we're gonna be doing that retrofit as well too, to get this unit out. So really easy, actually. So we've got this unplugged. Okay, so the old unit is now out. That's the old analog cluster. So for anyone that's thinking about upgrading to a 6WA cluster, I will have a 6WA available for sale. Just got it back at the same time as we got this 6WB, just got it back from RVG Performance, and it's virginized so that we'll be able to go ahead and sell that to someone that would like to have a new cluster. This cluster looks like, oh, I forgot. This one, when I received it, did not have the clips. So I'm just gonna transfer those clips over from the other unit. Slide those in here. And these are, of course, are the clips to hold it in place. They just really just slide out of the old unit and slide right in. No big deal there. And clips right into place. So we can't get on the computer now, so we can see if we can get our rep from RVG Performance to remote into the computer, and we can start remote coding. Okay, and just one more thing to think of. When you get ready to do remote coding, you will need to have a laptop, of course. So there's my laptop. You will need to have an Ethernet cable. So I have this Ethernet cable. It's already connected here. I've connected to my laptop, and you will want to install TeamViewer. So I have TeamViewer pulled up. I have a ID and password, and I just pass this along to the representative so that they can actually remote into my vehicle to start the coding process. Okay, so we have our TeamViewer going, as well as there is an eNet remote session starter that we actually need to get moving as well too. So I have that installed. I've actually activated it. So now we're going to have our representative go ahead and log into the system, and they're going to go ahead and start doing the remote coding process on our new cluster. And as you guys can see there, our dash is going a little crazy. Things are happening. We're getting some coding done. And so you'll typically see some of the lights coming on and off. You'll hear beeping and chiming. That's just part of the process. Okay. And just like that, all the dinging is done and we are complete. So there's a little kind of a timestamp there, 7:32. I think the footage started around 7:24. So this process it does not take that long, less than 10 minutes. So we're just gonna go ahead and power off the car. My charged battery sign's on because I'm kind of low at the moment. And there we go, start it back up. Okay, so we've got the new 6WB installed, just got it remote coded. I know in the video earlier I told you guys that I just received it back from RGV Performance, where we actually had it virginized. So it's going to show you guys real quickly the process that I do when I send these units off to be virginized, because it's pretty easy. So for a lot of people, you may not want to do this process if you don't feel comfortable. It just saves you in shipping. So let me turn the camera around real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is the 6WA that I've been running in my car probably for the last year and a half. And what I actually have it somewhat disassembled here. So that's why I said for those that don't want to do this, that's completely fine if you don't want to, but it does save yourself some on shipping. I've got a box here. This is actually what I have done. So I sent the board for my 6WA as well as the 6WB that I just installed. I actually sent the board, or the circuit board, to RVG Performance for them to virginize this unit. So saves a lot of shipping, saves a lot on shipping for a small box this size, and especially if I'm actually virginizing 2 units. Of course, I've got it nicely packed so that we don't have to worry about it being damaged or whatnot. So what I've done now, basically you just have to reinstall it. So installing it or reinstalling it is the same as disassembling it. It's just going to turn this unit over on the backside, which is actually even slightly easier on, I believe on the 6WB. But on this unit here, you're actually just going to set this board back in place. It actually goes this way, right, like this. But we've got some connections here that we're going to make sure that we get connected. So these 3 ribbons here are going to connect here, here, and here on this board, and then we should be able to set it in place. So I'm going to work on connecting those now. Unfortunately, I do not have let me see if I can find ourselves a cameraman. So give me just a second. Okay, so basically we're just going to reinstall these ribbons. Just going to lift up the clips, make sure these they sit into the sections properly. There's little grooves there, so it's not that difficult of a task, honestly. So we're just setting them in place in their predetermined places here. Actually, once we get this first one in, I like to actually go ahead and slide the board into place here. You can see these little tabs here we've already got one that's gone in here, and they've got the other ones that are kind of in the general areas, and we're just kind of setting those where they're supposed to go and pushing it down firmly into place. So that's good. So now we're just going to go ahead and reattach these 2 here. We can get it to go straight in. There we go. There. Again, it is really not that difficult of a job. Just takes a little bit of attention to detail. Okay, so that is all. This board has actually been locked back into place. So we're just going to go ahead and replace our rear cover. That clicks into place as well too. And then I always just make sure I kind of grab a quick rag. Just grab a quick rag just to kind of wipe everything down nicely. Oops. Okay. And we can put the cover back on. That clicks in place as well. We have this is just our odometer button or menu button that just clips into place there. And then as we flip it over, we have to replace 4 screws. And these 4 screws are a T10. So we got 2 that go in here in the top, and then 2 down here at the bottom. So again, 6WA is just slightly more difficult than the 6WB because on the 6WB, those 3 pins that those 3 ribbons that we had to actually set back in place, those are not there on the 6WB. It actually just has 2 connections on the top, and when you push the board into place, it actually seats those connections right at the same time. So like I said, it's the 6WA is probably like a 3 on the difficult scale. 6WB would be more like a 1 or a 2. It's really not that difficult to do, and it saves you a little bit on shipping there and back as far as getting your cluster virginized. So we're just going to, like I said, just tighten these last 4 bolts down, and this cluster is now ready for its next owner. So again, if you know anybody that's looking for a 6WA, This one has been virginized. It's ready to go. So I'll be listing it for sale here shortly. But very, very nice upgrade for anybody that has just your normal analog cluster. Okay, and as you guys can see, we've got our wheel reinstalled. 6WB is sitting there looking real nice. So I think what I'll do is I'll get you a clip of how it feels driving with the new 6WB. So we'll go ahead and put that in now. Okay, so we've got our unit installed, and as you can see, it has now adapted the miles on the vehicle, so that looks good. But everything looks clean. I'm definitely loving the new 6WB. Of course, this is in our normal mode. When we switch over to our Sport or Sport Plus, we get our Sport gauges. And I definitely love the styling of this unit, but everything is good to go. So if this is your first time coming to the channel, make sure you guys like and subscribe. I want to try to keep this content coming out to you guys, and everyone else be safe, and we will catch you guys in the next video.